Hey everybody, welcome to Goshen Prepping. Thanks for joining us. I need you to understand something. Our economy is crashing. I mean, we may not be at the point where it's crashing like this, but it's still heading downhill. And it is inevitable. It's going to crash. There's nothing that can stop that now. If they turn everything around, yes, but we know that's not going to happen, unfortunately. So I'm going to ask you something, and I would seriously want you to think about this and answer this to yourself. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for the economy to crash and we as Americans having a big problem with finances? It's not even just Americans, by the way, but we often see worldwide economies crash together. The same thing happened in the Great Depression. This Greater Depression is inevitable. It's going to crash, and here's why. It's so simple. The government continues to print out more money. They continue to borrow from the feds. They continue to spend like money's going out of style. I mean, I guess in reality it is, isn't it? How can they do that? Because honestly, I don't really look at the outcome of this because it's gotten so bad that literally we can't even afford to pay back the interest on what we borrowed. Isn't that interesting? So you in your household, let's say you're doing pretty well and suddenly you lose your job. That's what America did. We're losing jobs, buying stuff from overseas. And now you have 5 credit cards. You start spending money on the credit cards. And eventually, what happens if the time comes where you can't even pay back the interest on those credit cards? You're going to declare bankruptcy. That's exactly what's happening in America. We're heading in that direction. Except when that happens in America, it's not declaring bankruptcy, it's crashing our economy. It is coming. So let's go ahead and talk about money for a second. Money in America, just good old dollar bills, are what we call a fiat currency. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that term, but the government makes these dollars based on nothing. There's nothing based on it. The government puts an arbitrary value to it. Again, it's how much we borrow. That's why inflation's going up and such. But it's not based on, and here's the moral, it's not based on gold or silver or anything like as far as precious metals that actually has a real tangible value to it. It's not. It's based on nothing at all. And that's what they decide. They decide how much money is worth. And of course, when we see examples like pre-Nazi Germany, they had the same situation. The government decided the money is worth this, but as they printed out gobs and gobs and gobs of more money, it became inflationary and eventually came to a point where a loaf of bread, which probably cost like maybe a Deutschmark, literally cost by the end of their troubles 200 billion Deutschmarks for that same loaf of bread. Could you imagine buying a loaf of bread for 200 billion Deutschmarks? Or put it in our sense, right now you can get a loaf of bread, maybe $1. You know what? But how about $200 billion? Because the money becomes so worthless because of inflation and printing out more. And you know what? The Nazis used this purposely to gain control. And guess what they did? Which is interesting. Think about interesting. Because Nixon took us off the gold standard, and now we're in big trouble. The Nazis were off the gold standard, or pre-Nazis were off the gold standard. So what did the Nazis do? They literally ravaged Europe. And what did they take in Europe? Gold. Every single place they went to, they tried to confiscate and take every ounce of gold. That shows you what it's worth, that these fiat currencies are completely worthless. They actually do nothing for you. But whenever you have gold, get your hands on it, oh yeah, that's a different story. And that's what we're leading to in this video, by the way. It's all about gold. Now, I hear a lot of people say in the prepping community, and they're right, by the way, that you know what? You can't eat gold. And that's true, you can't eat gold. But obviously, if you have the right things to trade or barter, and I talk about a lot of stuff that you could trade or barter, gold is one of those things I mentioned in the past. If you have like a giant 1-ounce gold coin, it'll get you killed. Because right now, even in non-crap hits the fan situation, that gold coin's worth $2,000. You're not going to go to someone and say, here's $2,000 for a loaf of bread. Because the gold, even though the American currency has collapsed, the gold will still retain its value. And you could say, well, I'll take that gold coin and I'll just cut it up. Or you can even buy little pieces of gold. The problem is fake gold comes into play. How do you know just yourself that you're going to have a gold necklace that is real gold? I mean, there are ways to check it, by the way, or a real silver necklace. There are ways to check it, by the way. But it's very difficult for the fact that you have to understand that there's been countries bringing in gold into the United States, and we have found so much of it to be counterfeit. Did you know that? And what they'll do is they'll take gold and they'll take tungsten and actually make a tungsten bar and then layer it with some gold. So there's gold on there. So the test you do on it will say, oh, this is real gold. But tungsten, which is quite heavy too, it's very difficult to see if it's real gold or not. This is a big problem and something that we have to worry about when crap hits the fan if you decide to go ahead and trade silver or gold. But having some kind of non-fiat currency works very well. And there is another option, and that's where we're going to in this video. And I'm so excited to talk to you about this. And this is not some kind of canned thing. Oh, you should check this out. If you know Goshen prepping at all, I rarely do sponsorship videos. Sometimes I do. If it's a product I truly want or think it's going to work well, and therefore I'll turn it around for you viewers. I'm not knocking other channels, but other channels they'll model stuff all day long. I'll do it if it's something that's going to help me and my family in prepping, and it's also something I'll tell you if I think it works well or if it doesn't work well. So there's something I want to share with you and show you that when I was first exposed to this, it didn't blow my mind at first, but now it does. It actually goes back to, for those of you who met us when we came down to Knoxville, down in, I forgot which month it was, but a few months ago, we came down to a preppers conference in Knoxville, and there were some people going around showing these dollar bills. They're not bills at all. They're definitely not dollars, called goldbacks. I'm going to go ahead and show you what these are. And when I first saw this, I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with you. I was thinking, it's worthless. In fact, my son came up to me and said, "Dad, look at one of these dollar bills." Again, I said, using the word dollar bill, obviously I'm not referring to a greenback looking dollar, but I'm actually looking at one of these guys. Look at this. It says one on there, but it's not a dollar, obviously, but it's called a goldback. And when my son brought these to me, I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. In my mind, since I never actually talked with the people from Goldbacks, it's not even just one company, by the way. I want to show you that in a minute. I thought it was simply something they were just trading around for that prepper show. Like if you got one of these, you can go over and buy some seeds from someone. I thought it was simply just a local trading thing, and I had no idea what it was. Weeks, months passed. I always had these in the back of my mind. Then we pull them out, and I look at it, and I was like, wait a second. This is not simply just something for that preppers conference, but these goldbacks are gold. It's actual gold. In fact, some of the things you can see on here, I don't know if you can see this very well. It says down here, 1,000th, if I can talk, of a troy ounce. So literally embedded inside this material is actually 1/1000th ounce of a gold. You have 1 ounce of gold worth $2,000 taken to someone, you're probably going to die. But 1/1000th of an ounce, right now this goldback, I'll show you in a minute, is actually worth $4. And you'd be amazed, by the way, this is certainly getting into far beyond what I want to as far as the video goes. You'd be amazed in how often you'll take to someone and say, hey, listen, I owe you $4 at this yard sale for this old coffee pot. Can I give you a goldback? Right now, look it up. It's worth $4. And of course, if they have any sense at all as far as being like a prepper, people know we're in hard times. They'll say, wait, that's real gold? Yeah, it's real gold. And it's actually in this form of a bill per se. So you can actually trade it. It's worth $4. And especially for something like a coffee pot, old coffee pot for $4, a lot of times, more times than not, I'll say, yeah, I'll do that. That sounds pretty cool. So all these goldbacks are based on real gold because they're actually filled up with real gold. So here is like another one. So another $4 right here. Actually, there's two of them. So they're right here. I'm looking at what, $12. Here's another one right here. So $16. Or you can actually get different denominations. So here is a $5 bill. Again, for lack of better terms, I don't like saying dollar bill, obviously, because it's not a dollar bill. But here's a 5. This is 1/200th of a gold ounce, of a troy ounce. So this is worth about $20. And obviously you can get denominations of 10s and 50s and 100s, and it goes on from there. So this is one of the things I want to show you. And so I'm going to tell you, because I always want things to be transparent, I am now an affiliate for this. This is something I truly believe in, and I think is actually the most amazing thing. So I want to talk more about goldbacks and show you where you get them from and how you can use them. And some of the ways, this is more than simply just bartering when it comes to prepping. This is taking us away from that fiat currency where the government is going to crash the economy and the economy will go down. These goldbacks will retain their value. If not, they actually will become more valuable because, you know what? People have to shift their money into something else. And regular green fiat currency won't do it. Gold will. All right, I want you to check this out. And I'm just going to briefly talk about this. This is the company that actually manufactures the goldbacks. And right now, the average exchange rate is about $4 for one goldback. And they have a bunch of different states that are onto this, by the way. Here's the South Dakota series. And there's 5 states right now that do this. That's actually what I have, too, is the South Dakota series. They're really pretty. But understand the state means nothing. It's like getting a state quarter. You can use it in all 50 states. And because of inflation, gold has risen 30% in the 4 largest currencies during the last 5 years. And the goldback solves a 2,600-year-old problem. This is how people used to trade stuff, silver and gold, because now it can be spent in small interchangeable increments. And it says, what can you do? Goldbacks themselves support local businesses and educate about this problem with fiat currency. And more businesses are now accepting goldbacks as payment. And just like regular money, they are fungible. Like 5 $1 bills will equal $5. Same thing here too. If you take 2 5 gold backs, it'll equal one $10 gold back. Again, I don't like using the word dollar, but you know what I mean. And we're starting to see all around the country more and more businesses saying we accept gold backs. And to show you how much so, look at this. This simply goes back from 2019 when they first started coming out with them. And you can see an exponential growth up to the point now, 18 million gold backs. This is not a linear line, by the way. This is exponential as more and more people are catching on to this, including us here at Goshen Prepping. So the last thing I want to show you is Alpine Gold. There are so many places you can buy this, by the way, but I'm now going to be an affiliate for Alpine Gold. There will be a link below so you can actually come here if you want to look at buying some. They are 24 karat gold back notes, 24 carats, and gold and silver. It's legal tender. And there's a 0% buy-sell spread. What that means is this. You go to a dealer and buy a gold back for $4. You can turn around and go back to that dealer and sell it for $4 without actually having to worry about the fees associated with it when you actually see other investment type stuff. And by the way, we'll talk more about Alpine Gold soon. Alpine Gold has lots of ways you can actually transfer money from your IRA and go into gold. It's not just about gold backs when it comes to Alpine Gold, and that's why I decided to go ahead and affiliate with them. But it's a great place to get your gold backs, and I'll show you more about that. And with the gold back notes, you take physical delivery of them, or you can actually have them vaulted free of charge if you like. So I will tell you, I'm extremely excited about talking about these now. And for me and my family, we're going to certainly be buying, it's not really buying, trading my currency into gold backs. And that's what Alpine Gold is for. And you can simply just click on the link below for Alpine Gold and set up an account completely free and start setting up getting your gold backs as well. Again, if you have retirements, I'm never going to say just dump your retirement, but understand retirements are not always secure either. We've seen that over the last year as we see bank failures. Keep that in mind. But a lot of people are getting gold backs now. At least they have some tradable currency that they can use when the dollar collapses, which again, it is going to collapse. It is inevitable. We don't know when, but we certainly see signs, especially as the world's heading into war. We saw the same thing happening with World War I and World War II as well. It's going to happen. So for me and my family, we're going to be doing gold backs, again, doing through Alpine Gold, which we are so proud to be an affiliate of them now. So click on the link below. Helps us out on the channel too. We appreciate that. And I'll talk more about this in the future too. Put it in the comments below. Have you bought gold backs? Because I know a lot of people have. They're very cool. Thanks for watching.